Hey, so what's up, guys? Hey, I just want to give you a quick update. The fan boat, that thing is kind of on hold right now. We kind of just lost steam. I need to find something to use for the engine, and come to find out that fan blade propellers are super expensive. So stay tuned. There's going to be more for that. But for now, we'll jump into this first project. Or we'll jump into this next project. So here we are. Here is the beginning stages of our next build, and we're just going to jump right into it. It is in need of front suspension, and that's what we're going to dive into right now. I don't know about you guys, but I hate making these tabs. They are the worst. They take forever, and that's what you get. It's not too bad, but it should work to hold everything up. We've got front mounts put together, A-arms coming in, there they are, and we'll get that mounted up in the morning because it is super late. So, see you guys in the morning. All right, so we're back with the buggy build. It's been quite a few days since I've actually been out here, and I didn't show it, but we're working on the front suspension again, and we've got shocks mounted up. We got that one set up there, and then we're working on this side here. We had to cut off this mount, and then we'll make some more brackets and mounts and get the other shock on and do a front suspension test. And there we go. We've got front suspension on this thing. Looks pretty good. That's gonna work pretty dang nice. Just a couple of reinforcements here and there, and call it good. So right now we're going to be working on getting the rear end four-linked, and in order to do that, we've got some brackets that I made, and right now we're going to try to fit the rear sprocket, and it's keyed and the axle is not keyed, so we're going to have to make our own keyway, so that'll be fun. All right, so we got the sprocket all put on, and now we're getting it mocked up for the four link. Working on the bottoms right now, and we'll just see where it goes. So there's the beginning of my first ever four-link setup. I know it's not anything special, but I think it looks good. I think it's going to do the job for what we're using it for. I guess we'll find out, huh? So yeah, I think the next thing we got to do is brace this bearing to that bearing, run some shocks, then we can start working on getting the engine mounted and some seats and some steering. Coming together, slowly but surely. Okay, so I just finished kind of tacking up everything in place. Got my real crude mounts here, and we're gonna see what the travel is gonna look like on this thing. So, moment of truth. Oh man, there's more travel than we're even gonna know what to do with. So cool. Okay, so that wasn't welded on very well. But, all right. Cool. So now we just need to finish up doing some more reinforcements, weld it all down, and get some wheels mounted onto it, some shocks. So right now what I'm doing is I am mounting up shocks. We've got the 4-link where I want it for now before we start changing things. And now we're gonna start to set up our shocks. So what I've done is I've tried a few different things that I didn't show. And the best one that I came up with is we'll run the shock off of this mount to the top of this, off the top of the axle here. Do that on both sides. I got the one shock hanging there that doesn't need to be, but so that's what we're doing. We've got our first mounts set in here. I'm going to tack those in, and then I'm going to build some brackets, some mounts for the shocks, and then we'll mount those in, and then hopefully we should have a freestanding chassis. All right, and just like that, we have 8 fairly identical shock mounts. So we're gonna get these mounted up, get the shocks set up, and hopefully we got suspension. All right, so we've got the shocks mounted, and now we're gonna see where we sit at as far as travel-wise goes. Running out of zip ties here for this. So I had to repurpose the tiny timber sled shocks again for the 3rd build because why not, right? So less than overwhelming travel, but we've got about 13 inches there. As opposed to 7.5. So not great, but it'll have to do for now until we upgrade our shocks. And that one's pretty much done also, so definitely have to do that in the future. So now we'll get some springs on it, and we will get the hubs on it, and then we should wrap this video up with wheels, with it sitting on its own weight. I got these hubs in the other day, and they're splined, obviously, and this is not splined axle, so it's just too small, the axle, So I know all of my fellow mechanics out there, so we're gonna just make a little bit of a spacer. And this is definitely the wrong way to do it, but you gotta work with what you got. And this is what we got, this is what we're doing. So, just like that, looks like we might have to do just a little bit more. There, just like that. It's perfectly centered. So now we'll just do that to the other side and throw a little weld on it, get some wheels on it, and we'll wrap this thing up. So just as I mentioned before, I know that this is wrong, but we gotta do what we gotta do. Okay, well, the deed is done now, and I guess we'll put some wheels on it and set it down. All right, there it is. We've got the, it's my first ever 4-link style setup. It's under its own weight. The suspension seems to be cycling okay. And yeah. All right, cool. So that's done. Little things here and there, bolts to tighten, reinforcements to build to kind of stiffen the frame up. It's still pretty loose. But other than that, we got ourselves a roller, and that's exactly what I wanted to do. So thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, and keep it real.